So with regard to ingestion, if you're dealing with streaming data, Amazon Kinesis, Firehose, Kinesis Streams are great tools for basically collecting in real-time data and sending it downstream for processing. AWS Glue is a service that incorporates, the way I like to, at least for ingestion and processing, describe it, is it's Apache Spark as a service in a lot of different ways. So if you're ever doing Apache Spark work, or if you need to just do some standard Python kind of processing of things, it's a fully set up tool for doing that and scheduling those things. You can also instantiate those things on demand. So you've got a lot of power in that. Another tool that we use quite a bit is AWS Data Migration Service, which is designed to kind of create a hands-off mechanism for synchronizing databases from on-premise databases or other cloud services or other databases within AWS into AWS. We have a number of customers who use that to regularly bring over data multiple times a day. With certain databases, it supports change data capture, so you can almost stream changes as it occurs. And then there are other tools like API Gateway and AWS Lambda that allows you to build things like REST interfaces that people can use to publish data into your ecosystem. Things like Simple Storage Service, which provides a mechanism for storing large amounts of data very inexpensively. And later we'll see there are tools that allow you to query that data directly. And Amazon Snowball. Amazon Snowball is interesting. It's an appliance that Amazon will ship to you. You can load data onto, send it back to Amazon, and they will load that into the cloud for you. So if you're taking a step into AWS as, for doing analytics, you say, this is really great, but I've got, 100 terabytes of data I need to move to AWS, and that's going to be really costly to try to push that through a small pipe on the internet. You can get Snowball appliances up to 100 terabytes each. You order one or two, bring them in, plug them in via fiber right into your network. They're ruggedized, they're encrypted, they're very well secured. If you're dealing with exabytes, they'll send you a truck. They refer to that as Amazon Snowmobile. But they've got ways to move massive amounts of data in single steps to kind of seed what you've got going. And then Storage Gateway is another mechanism that we've also seen used quite a bit. What it does is it basically exposes the Simple Storage service as a drive on your local network in a lot of ways. So we've got organizations who do that and literally drop files onto local shares. It automatically gets replicated up to AWS behind the scenes, and then we ingest it and process it from that side. So that's lots of different ways you can ingest. We've worked with companies on real-time work, batch work, occasional, kind of what I'll say is near real-time work, updating every 30 minutes and things like that. And what we found is that it's very fast to get things up and running. It's low cost to maintain it, and there's massive amounts of flexibility to be able to change and do things differently and try new things as you go forward.
What was Lambda?
Sorry. I didn't kind of go into Lambda. So what Lambda is a mechanism that allows you to take code and run it on demand without any server infrastructure. So Java, Python, .NET, JavaScript, a number of different languages. What's nice is it's event-driven. So when an event happens in AWS, it can trigger in a Lambda, pass off that information about what happened, and then the Lambda can process it. Where we use it typically in the data world is in two or three places. One is if people are uploading files to Amazon S3, Simple Storage Service, we'll have an event that says a new file arrived. And that event can trigger a Lambda, which would be a piece of code that goes in, reads the file, does some processing, sticks the data in a database. Or triggers another process, might trigger an ETL process in an ETL tool or something like that. You can also use it with API Gateway, which I think is up there. API Gateway allows you to create a predefined REST interface that's secured, and you can back it with code in Amazon, in AWS Lambda. What's really cool about AWS Lambda is you pay per 100 milliseconds of runtime, and they typically run short. You don't have to deal with infrastructure, so if you've got one file come in, it fires up a Lambda. If you have 1 million files come in, you potentially could fire up to 1 million Lambdas and parallelize all of that effort and not have to manage any processes, any servers, any of that kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of that underlying maintenance and heavy lifting work off your hands. For people who don't know me, my name is Michael Krause. I'm the Chief Technology Officer here at Charter Solutions. I hold 3 AWS certifications, including Architect Pro. Charter Solutions also is an advanced consulting partner with AWS. We do a lot of work primarily in the analytics related space. So helping companies move analytics workloads to Amazon Web Services, including things like setting up data lakes, data warehouses, data pipelines, machine learning processes, and all the visualizations as well.